Happy Hanukkah, everybody. I'm making SUFGANIYOT today, which is a donut hole that are very popular in Israel during Hanukkah. As most people know, it's traditional to serve foods that are fried on Hanukkah to commemorate the oil that lasted 8 days instead of the expected 1 day in the temple in Jerusalem. So Eastern Europeans tend to eat latkes, but in Israel it's SUFGANIYOT. The translation for SUFGANIYA or SUFGANIYOT in Hebrew means spongy dough. But that type of donut really originated in Eastern Europe and in Germany as far back as the 1500s. And in Poland they were called pączek. And it was traditional to make donuts with lard, and of course the Jews would not eat lard, so they used chicken fat because there were really no vegetable oils at that time. And now, of course, we like to use neutral oil like canola oil or anything along those lines. So I found a very simple way to make SUFGANIYOT without having to make a dough from scratch with yeast and so forth. So what I found is a crescent roll dough. And this is the brand that I like. It's Annie's, it's organic. There's others on the market, but this worked very well for me. It's a kosher brand and it doesn't have a lot of chemicals and salt in it. So it comes out tasting better, I think. So what came out, there's actually 2 of these in this roll, and I'm just gonna use one for right now. And you can see there's perforations because if they're gonna become crescents, you're supposed to take them out around the perforations and then roll them up, but we're not doing that. So what I like to do is take a rolling pin and just kind of do away with all of those perforations so that the little donut hole does not come apart when you're frying it. Okay, so then you want to just take this and fold it in half. And by doubling it, you're going to end up with some nice layers inside. And I'm going to just show you simply 2 ways of doing it. So this is about a 1 inch, it's actually the top of a bottle of maple syrup, but it happens to be the right size. So I am gonna just cut out a few of these. If it gets stuck, just use a little knife and just leave it here. Just put it back in the round. Roll it out a little more if it's gonna be too thick. Like that. Okay. We'll do one more like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is put it in a pot with oil, and this is considered deep fried because these are so tiny. If you're gonna make more, you may wanna use a bigger pot and use more oil. The oil is 350 degrees. I have a thermometer that tells me that. Alternately, if you put a kernel of corn in there and it pops within 20 seconds or so, you know that it's done. Okay, I'm gonna put these in and they're gonna cook up pretty fast. So you can see how fast they cook up. They're already browning, and you really want them to be very nicely browned. And I think they're already done. Okay, I put it on. What I like to do is I take a brown paper bag and I put it underneath the paper towel. So first of all, the paper towel is clean, but it also adds extra layers of absorption to it. And it's best to let them cool a little bit, but just for the sake of time now, what I'm gonna do is put it into this bowl of confectioner's sugar. If they cool a little bit, they won't absorb the sugar quite as fast And alternately, if you like cinnamon, you could do a little cinnamon sugar on this. And then just leave them. So in Israel, they make them right on the street and you eat them right away, which I recommend. Just take them, you know, just when they're cooled slightly and enjoy it that way. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little different now by making a bigger one. And the reason why I want to make it a little bigger is because I want to show how to fill it. So this is also a jar lid, and this is just about 2 inches or so. I'm gonna have to press on this a little more. Okay. And if you have to just roll the dough, sometimes it just kind of pulls back a little. So roll it, keep rolling it if you have to, just to get it. And of course you'll have to re-roll so you can use all the pieces around it. So you don't want to waste it. And I'm thinking probably the donut holes, gosh, I think you could almost get 12 from this. So with the whole package, you could probably easily get 24 donut holes. Okay, and I'm gonna do one more. Okay. Okay, I don't like the way that one came out. I'm just gonna roll this dough again and try to get one more so I can demonstrate. Okay, that one is better. All right, so let's go back to the hot oil, and you try to keep it at a flame that will sustain that temperature. I'm just gonna roll this out a little bit. Okay. Okay, these go into the oil. They may take a few seconds longer to cook than the tiny ones. But they're cooking really, really fast, as you can see, almost instantaneously. Yeah, the problem with the oil, if it's too hot, is that it's going to burn the outside and the inside will be too doughy. Okay. All right, again, you want to drain it. Optimally, I would wait a bit before I fill them, because what happens is the heat from the dough inside just kind of soaks it up. But again, because of time, I'm just going to show you what I do. So you just kind of open it up as much as you can. And you can take, I have any kind of jelly. This is a nice Bon Maimon Ford Berry. I have a little Ziploc bag. I have cut the tip off. I filled it with jam. And as you see, you have jam filled. If you have to take a little excess away, you can, like that. And then you can go back into the confectioner's sugar if you'd like. And it'll set up a bit. The jelly will kind of settle in. And there's your jelly. And then you can do, if you'd like, all right, I just got the jelly knife. Don't do what I just did. I think I'll just use this one instead. Unless you like jelly and Nutella together. Here, this is Nutella. I've done the same thing. I put it in a little Ziploc bag, cut the tip, you squeeze it. Okay, I'm gonna cut a little more off here. Okay, there we go, I think. There we go. There's your Nutella. And there's your SUFGANIYOT. Really, really, you see how simple this is. Alternately, you can take these little donut hole size. You can put them in a glaze, you can dip them in chocolate and put sprinkles on them, whatever. So that's it. Happy Hanukkah again from Jewish Family and Children's Service. We hope you have a wonderful holiday with many miracles, and thank you for joining us.